I'm quickly getting you back in the mindset of yesterday. Inside you somewhere, you're connected to the universe. Om, all energy. This is not in your heart, in your mind, in your butt. It's somewhere. But it's not localized. I'm sorry for the word butt. I should have said ass. You're uptight, okay? You need to release a bit of stress. Look at the abdominal muscles. Relax, okay? Okay? It's not gonna be hard. Did you sleep well, please? I understand. Triggers you, does it? Okay. What happened yesterday, emotionally, when you discovered that you could actually live without fibromyalgia? You don't have words. It was touching? Because you've been having this terrible pain for how many years now?
26.
Yeah, your 20s. It popped, me too, it popped, fibromyalgia popped at 20 something. I couldn't be touched.
No, I was 9 years old when I first started.
Okay, you were 9 years old. Okay, so you're the early one. I had trouble in my youth, early teenage, but I went to do martial arts. And I started doing Buddhism, so it went away. But then it started to kick back in at 26. So yes, for some guys, fibromyalgia is difficult for women, and they think that men just complain, but it is scientifically, objectively proven that men experience fibromyalgia 10 times more powerful than women. But it's 10 times rarer that a man will have fibromyalgia. Okay. Most women, not most women. Okay, most women who have fibromyalgia do have the pain, and they think that the men complain because they just can't bear it. Well, they don't know how, okay? But I removed fibromyalgia from me, and when I already had it, I said, well, try this, try that, and you felt the release of suffering yesterday when we were in the middle of the turmoil of that, okay? So I just ask you to share it so that other people can hear it, okay? So that they know, okay, so, but I have this other type of ailment. This is the immortality class. Immortality means not to be sick. I don't want to grow like 150, I'll be all crippled. No, it's not about crippled wisdom. It's about being 60 forever, okay? Everyone has an age. Like Saint German was 40 years old for about 300 something years, okay? Then we just did not see him. Actually, some people saw him dead, went to his funerals, and 2 years later, Saint Germain was attending the funeral of his best buddy. All right? So you have the paperwork. He got himself to allow himself to die because he wanted to be done with the political view. So he did the entire normal process, dying, decaying of the corpse, being buried, people crying, and did to walk away. Not limited to what people saw. But then people detached and stopped always wanting to have his counsel because they called him the guy who knows everything and will never die. So he was registered in the court of about 20 different clans and countries in Europe in the 1500s and 1600s. Okay? For more than 80 years, sometimes attending 2 courts at the same time. So the dates say the chronicler in German on that day was with King Henry XIV and was with the Chancellor of Germany at the same day. Okay, he's the guy that when you walked around a corner and you were running for him to tell him something, he wasn't there anymore. Okay, he wasn't limited by locality, not by time. So if he was not limited to the experience of time existence, he was not limited by any dimension, such as distance. You understand this? Immortality is a side effect of living in dimension, non-dimensionally. Okay? And for this, you need to conquer your physical reality. And to conquer your physical reality means you have to suffer what nature needs you to get. Now the hardcore part of the wisdom. You have to keep your energy moving. To keep your energy moving, you can't be fixed. Fixed is attachment. Every single attachment that you have to a possession, a relationship, or your own identity will slow down the turmoils of life, of course, but it will slow down the force of life. Also, do you understand this? Some people, to resolve that issue, leave everything, go in some cave, and stay there and stop believing in even in themselves, so don't they have possessions, relations, and identity. But this is not how you develop power. That's how you develop great relaxation until you just relax and dissolve into oneness. If you want to stay here, you need to keep here moving. So you look like you have a lover and a family, but you don't. In your mind, you're not allowing yourself to think that these are your possessions, your relationship, or even your identity, but you up in your car, because it's the one that you're legally supposed to have, and you go somewhere, and you teach, and you look on the surface like if you had the things. The challenge is, surround yourself with every possible opportunity of attachment. Surround yourself with people, parents and children to love. Surround yourself with things. Surround yourself with reasons to have an opinion, such an identity. Eat luxurious food, like if you had preferences. Surround yourself with every possible trap and nonetheless stay indifferent. That is the real work. That's conquering the fires of hell. You stay in normal life, and regardless of all the opportunity you have, because in our tradition we don't teach poverty, we teach the middle way of comfort. So you have the middle range lifestyle you have. If you have more than that, congratulations. Some people are going to have less than that. You're going to help them out. Okay? If you live only for yourself, you're dead. Okay? You also have to live for others. Why do you live for others? Because if you live for yourself, you nourish your identity. Okay? Stop having an identity so you don't have to take this food because you want it. You take the food and you give it to the person who wants it. Sometimes it's you. Sometimes it's someone else. But you don't take the food because you want it. You take the food because someone wants it. And if it's someone else, here, take that. You understand why I just said, can I have orange juice? He said, yes, I just picked it. Okay? It wasn't yours. Okay? And you didn't want it anyway. If you had wanted it, I would have waited for someone to bring it to me because I play a game. I'm autonomous. I can just lift my butt and go get myself an orange juice. But I use this theater to teach you, this is how you are in service. I said, please, go get me something. This is how you're in service. I'm teaching you how to be in service. So you'll understand when you get in my position, teaching the people how to be in service to them. The more you grow in power, the more you're enslaved. Okay? You're in service. Oh, enslaved, you don't like this word. Okay. You have to stay conscious of other as much as self. Non-separation. Okay? So you see this? To keep this running, you need to have these possessions, relationships, and identity opportunities that just come and attack you because your ego wants them. And you will suffer the need to have them and the need not to have them. And you will integrate so much that at the cellular level, at the physical level, you'll keep your energy moving. But you will stay implicated in the physical reality. So you will physically exist out of dimension. Or in dimension in a non-dimensionalized way. Okay? You understand this? Breathe. You don't have 5 years to do that. You have like 20 or 50 or 100. Because the more you practice purely existing as self, with no possession, relations, and identity, the more you do that, the more you add years. Until you get to the point of immortality, at least you have the relative immortality or the extension of lifespan. Okay? It's still very nice for you to understand, Alta. It's still very nice for you to understand. Even if you don't have 20 years, okay? It doesn't matter, okay? What matters is what you experience while I teach it will step on you. It will add some time to your actual life, which is good.
Well, I mean, useful.
Oh yeah, useful functional time, yes. And the thing is, you'll have less suffering when you pass. It will be more harmonious. You'll say, oh, the final attachment, my own body, it's not even my body. I was borrowed, it's a car, I rented it. Okay? And you let go. Non-attachment. We're afraid of death, and we'll have to go through that. What you are afraid to experience in death, you have to resolve before you die, or else your soul is going to require you to die to get the lessons. So we're going to learn tons of techniques to do that will not work if you don't also resolve the issues your soul wants to discover about. Your soul wants to discover something through death. And if you don't discover it before death happens, it will push you into death to force you into the lesson. You understand this? It happens in your life. You don't want to experience something, you crash your car. You have no choice that you experience something, such as detachment. Such as being afraid of being affected and accepting and flowing vulnerably in life. Stuff will happen, suffering will happen, it's nature. You'll be happy also. No choice. Okay? You're not screwed by being only in suffering. You're screwed because you won't have choice to be in suffering and in happiness sometimes. Hopefully as much as happy as you can. But at one point it doesn't really matter. When you get to the point that suffering is also an experience of bliss, you'll like it. You won't impose it on you, you'll just let go. Or else it becomes suffering. Why would you do that? Okay? Om. So anytime there's Om in front of a mantra, you're summoning this universal experience of stirring your pool of consciousness with the rest of the mantra. Okay? Now, there's something I didn't teach you yesterday about this. Om Nama. Remember, Nama is not I salute. Okay? I salute is the dictionary definition. Nama is acknowledging the existence of. Okay? So when the people went to say Om Namah Shivaya, they're saying I salute Shiva. Now they put an identity. It's not a person. It's I acknowledge that there's such a thing as Shiva. So if it's Om Namah Sukhi Ananda Ram, Om Namah Sukhi Ananda Ram, what you're saying is I acknowledge it from the divine consciousness. I acknowledge that there's a happy, blissful pleasure state. Okay? So, one thing I did not teach you yesterday. Take a breath. Don't overwhelm yourself with that, okay? Today, don't overwhelm yourself with that. Don't go and push it. Soft. Okay? Soft. I did not teach you something yesterday, which is this, you have to bring it in your physical body. It's dry in here, isn't it? It's life. How do you bring that in your body? I'm going to teach you something. Do you remember transmigration of consciousness? Let the go 1 inch that way. Good, good, good. Now I see you. I want to see you. Do you remember the practice we did with transmigration of consciousness? We took something, now you'll take your bottle. Take your bottle of water, Now, you won't do a thing. Don't bless it. Don't do a thing. You take a bottle of water. Yeah, go get one if you don't have one. Take a few sips and taste it. Pay attention to its energy. Don't bless it. Don't put your energy in. Just pay attention. It tastes something. Huh? It's water. Some fluidity. No energy that much. Now that you all got this little bit of water, you gotta stand a bit. Okay. You have your bottle of water in your hand. Okay. Look at it. Transmigrate. This water is what I am. And once you have contact with your eyes and you have enough focus with your eyes, you will just go exist there with eyes closed and fully exist there. And from this existence, this is what I am. I'm in a bottle, I'm fluid, I'm cold. Om Namah Sukyanandaram. And come back to yourself. Alright? Take the water, taste it, feel it. Oh, there's energy in there. Taste change, there's something. You know? There's something that you put in there. Do you understand this? This is how we bless food, by the way. Just pay attention with a good thought and good feeling, and it affects whatever. Okay? So you got that? Did you feel it? We're gonna play a game. Let your bottle down. Yesterday we transmigrated into someone else's body. We're gonna do something. Look at your own body, abdomen and legs. Look it, make eye contact, and when you got enough consciousness, go in there. Like if you have never been. Just play the game. Like if you have never been in your body, go in there. Inhabit yourself. Go and transmigrate. I'm in this flesh. Feel it. Go down in your abdomen. Go down in your bones. Transmigrate in your body. And breathe. Now tell me, did you ever feel so present in your body as now? Come back here. Do you feel yourself so much in your body? That's the proof that all your life you've never really been in your body. Okay? To be grounded, to be down to earth, is incarnation. This is why I make people practice with transmigration. Because they couldn't possibly just understand the wisdom, go in your body. Well, I'm there. Just to take for granted you're there. No, you weren't. You were just a string. Like a puppet. A string falling to each little organ, each little thing. But not in there. So I had to do it with a hand, with a bottle of water, with another person's body. Because you'd say, of course I'm not in there. I have to make a conscious effort to know that I'm there. Now I said, do it with your body. And wow, I'm incarnate. I'm in there. You still feel it in your flesh, your energy, because you want it. That is incarnation. It's like transmigration of consciousness, but in your own body, because you have to stop thinking that you were always in your body. No, you were just streaming through your body slightly, like everyone. This is why you're so not really conscious of what's going on in your body. Now you're incarnate. So I'll ask you to breathe like this. And tighten a bit and relax. As you breathe in, you tighten. And you relax. And you push down and down and down in your abdomen and your legs. And your abdomen and your legs. And you push down to your feet. Now this is not Qigong. Imagine some, what's the roots of a tree that go down to the earth? No. The roots will naturally go wham. if you're in your body. And if you do visualization, imagining roots going down deep in the earth, it only tries to pull more of you. But the real key to incarnation and being grounded is go there. Embody. It's simple, is it? But before the knowledge and experience of transmigration, you did not know what it was to really go in your body and physically exist. Now you feel something in your body you're not used to. Is it the case? Huh? Who doesn't feel heck? Okay, you all feel something. Good. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
You're streamlining like up to here. Try to condense that in your body. Okay? You just love to just like a boat on the waters of consciousness. Understand, it's not about limiting yourself to this body. But at least, oh, by the way, I'm teasing. Please let yourself volcanoize like you're used to. The thing was, don't use this technique to stop being outside. It's not about being outside. It's just pay attention that amongst other things, you're here. And through will, power, I am in this body. Before this experience, whatever mantra you did not really affect your body because you weren't there. Do you understand? Why it's so long to charge mantras and then you feel it in your energy body, but in your physical body it takes time to change? Well, if you want to change something in nature, you have to go in nature. Consciously embody it. And to do this, you need to stop thinking that you were doing that, because you weren't. So much of your energy is at the intellectual level, and even when in the personal growth, you have the emotional level, at the felt level, but so little truly incarnate. Now you do your yoga in this incarnate state, mindful of your body. And then you have your soul flowing through the technique. And that is yoga. They don't teach you that. Why? Because they ignore it. Okay? Keep feeling it. Okay? Now, the secret of youth, of regeneration of your body, incarnate yourself. Eyes open, because you're not stopping to exist elsewhere. So you pay attention here, but you're not just paying attention. Like yesterday we learned how it was to pay attention. Now we know how to pay attention to a specific level of existence, which is a physical, manifested, tangible, hard, concrete reality. And you're in there, and you feel that this is conscious. You feel that your body, you feel this is energy. It's not dense matter. I'm in my body, but I feel that there's something living there. Okay? And from this point, everything is happy. Om Namah Sukyanandara. And in your incarnate in your body, pull it in. Om Namah Sukyanandara. You have the bliss in the heart. You have the happiness in your mind. Take this, dump it in your physical flesh. So imagine every level of you is happy and blissful pleasure, and it's flowing down in your physical flesh because this is where you are. So from the soul of unmanifested reality composes itself happy, blissful pleasure because you think it, and it densifies and becomes in your flesh. So, and there's a continuous flow, so you will flow. Om Namah Sukyanandara. Know yourself as consciousness. Know yourself as mind and heart, but your focus is, I'm dumping this in my body. Om Namah Sukyanandara. I'm dumping it in my physical body. And relax. We're going to do other experiences because it's not clear enough. We think it's clear. We're going to bring it even more clear. You know what your emotions are? Huh? So you know what the emotional plane is. It's just the place where emotions are. Okay? You don't need to understand more. Just transmigrate into your emotional body. Do the transmigration like you did with your physical flesh. Transmigrate in the place with emotions. You feel that you exist in an emotional state. You know where you think in your mind. Transmigrate to your mental body. It's just a question of I am there. You feel a presence at the level of mind you did not have before. Transmigrate back into your emotional body. You're at the emotional plane. You're conscious of this plane. In between the emotional body and the physical flesh, there's the energy. Transmigrate in your chi. Just by, it's simple. Transmigrate in your energy. So you see, chi. Your ants start to, there's something going on. Your energy flows. Transmigrate back into your physical flesh. And dump this in your body. Did you experience that wherever you set your level of attention, you went into that plane mindfully? Okay? Yesterday I told you I wouldn't speak of these layers. Okay? But this is soul. Try this. Okay? This is your soul. So you see, it's not a center like here. It's a center like a plane. And then you have the mind. The mind is this area here. But the mind is two things. The mental aspect and the emotional. Okay? So you got a soul level, which is very high. Then you could transmigrate in your mind. At the mental level, the emotional level, you could synthesize the level of frequency of consciousness that you wanted by thinking. I'm going to the mind state. I'm going to the emotion state. I'm going to the energy state. Then you have the body. And the body is made of two things. Vital plane and physical plane. Okay? So this is your pool of consciousness. The lines I make, they're not hard lines because your mental body and your emotional body are not separate. Your emotional body and your vital body are not separate. They're just levels. But you don't have a separate bodies, okay? A rainbow is not the childlike red bar, then orange bar, yellow bar. No, a real rainbow is a complete range of unseparated colors. So you have one body on a complete range of frequency of conscious existence at the dense physical level, and then more subtle there's energy, but the energy and physical body are intertwined, and the energy body and the emotional are intertwined, and the emotional and mental are intertwined, and the mental and the soul is intertwined. And then we'll speak of the soul, which has three other levels. Okay? The level of experience, the level of cause, the level of consciousness of self. Okay? We'll talk about that at another time, another seminar. Okay? We've covered this often. Now, we understand the four levels that are in nature as opposed to the three levels that are in supernature in the soul, and the three levels that are in divine nature, which is the creator, the created, and the interactive. Okay, the Brahma, the Vishnu, the Shiva, the Father, the Christ, the Holy Ghost. Okay? Right now we want to take care of our pool of consciousness in nature, which is that. Okay? Breathe. We did transmigration to teach you how awareness and consciousness goes into things where you pay attention. Okay? Go in your physical body. And you are incarnate. And you breathe and you're self-aware at the flesh, and your flesh is also energy and consciousness and mind. Now you will raise and go into your energy body. Transmigrate in your energy state. Oh, your energy body just start to have more life because your consciousness is filling it up. When I said through your senses you pay attention to outside, when you pay attention out inside, there's different levels of paying attention inside. We did flesh, we're at the energy body. Move to the emotional plane. Your consciousness is affecting your emotional plane. What is the emotional plane? I don't know. But you get it. But by just thinking, I'm going to the place where there are emotions in me. You got that. You're paying attention to where there are emotional systems. Because when you lift your arm, you don't need to understand the bone structure, the lubricants, the cartilage, the blood flowing, nourishing, the muscle streams, the electricity going in the fibers you don't need to understand anything about how an arm is lifted. You just lift it. You think about it, and you don't even have to intellectually think about it. It's a level of thought simply by paying attention to being conscious. I'm lifting my arm. It works. Say, everyone lift your right arm right now. Right arm, lower it down. Left arm, bring it up, bring it down. Okay, so were you intellectually burdened by the experience of lifting and lowering your arms? No. It was simply a question of existing in the state. It does not require understanding. It requires observation. So when you were born, the soul was not used to the new body, so it tried stuff. And you got this unwilling movements. And as you learn, as the soul observes the body, it conquers it until it becomes more and more refined by paying attention, by practice. And with time, the soul could act fully in a body. When it reached 1% of incarnation, when 1% of the soul can go into a physical body, it takes over. The body becomes functional. Okay? When you're fully incarnate, 10% of your soul is in your physical body. No more goes in. So immense the soul is. The soul is so big, immense, and rich that when 10% of your soul is in your flesh, you're a divine being. Okay? You're fully incarnate. Right? And you just do it by thinking. By taking the time to pay attention to that. Okay? We'll do it again. Physical body. And just feel the dumping. There's some kind of lowering thing because we imagine the soul is above, and there is something coming from above because the soul has more ability to flow from the crown chakra than from the bottom chakra. So you have this downward feeling. Okay, the downward feeling goes away the more you climb planes. So you're in your physical flesh, conscious. Breathe. Go in your energy body. Breathe. Go in your energy body. You will go in your emotional body. Raise. I'm emotion. I'm transmigrating this just by thinking. I'm going in the mind, the intellect, the thought body. Good. I'm going my soul. I'm transmigrating in the self. Now there's something that happens. The self goes within itself. Okay? That is a plane of self-awareness. Conscious of consciousness. Soul as the soul. That is what you are. Okay? Everything below it is nature. So you are conscious soul as a soul. From this point, Om Namah Sukyanandaram. Go in your mind. Go in your thoughts. Pull it down. An emotional Om Namah Sukyanandaram. Joy in your emotions. Pull down vital body. Go in your life body. Om Namah Sukyanandaram. Dump it in the physical flesh. I'm incarnate. Om Namah Sukyanandaram. Feel the conscious stream. This is not altered. This is continuous. From soul continuously dumps physical energy of joy. And your nature is being altered right now. So pay attention. Om Namah Sukyanandaram is something you want to do at the physical level. Om Namah Sukyanandaram. but you're not absent from all other levels. It's completely flowing through. And you got this consciousness of consciousness, which is when you just existed, I am soul, bang, you got this undefined being self, and into the mind, emotion, vital, and physical. And we describe this only so you can get acquainted with the process. But then, you just say, oh, you get in the point of soul. Namma Sukya Nandaram, and it dumps through all the bodies, now transmigrate in all your bodies at once. Physical, energy, emotional, mental, and as soul. Just exist completely. I'm soul, I'm flesh. Breathe, stay aware of everything as one thing, not as 5 separate components difficult to understand. I'm just conscious everywhere. You stretch. And you practice extended and expanded consciousness as soul, as body, as emotion, as being, as defined, as undefined. You just exist. And this is incarnation. And the power of incarnation is how you get in nature and transform it. And how you transforming it? You acknowledge its new existence. I acknowledge that my physical experience is happy, blissful, and pleasureful. Om Namah Sukyanandara. But you're not doing separate from yourself. You're doing as self, as spiritual being in flesh. Alright? You can't do transmutation if you're abstracted or separate from the truth of what you want to transmute. So now you do that before you do Reiki. And you do your healing treatment conscious of physical reality, energy, emotional, and mental as self. And you do your Reiki. You can do this for yourself, but once you've charged it, once you charge that, there are 2 ways to charge it. The mantra, the japa type, which is 9 malas per day for 12 days. Give me your mala, Sean. Take a mala. Om Namah Sukyanandaram, 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 Om Namah Sukyanandaram. You can say it at the speed you want, as long as your physical voice doesn't disturb the words. Like, Om Namah Sukyanandaram, that doesn't work. Om Namah Sukyanandaram, Om Namah Sukyanandaram, Om Namah Sukyanandaram, and then you whisper. You find out your speed and you whisper. So at first, your mouth will hurt because you're not used to Sanskrit. Okay? So you do 9 malas per day for 12 days and you charge the power of Om Namah Sukyanandaram. The other, that's the japa aspect. Japa is use a mala to do mantras. Okay? The other way is the siddhi approach. There's no formula. You do it for 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 1 month. You simply sit, relax. Relaxing in your all nature of your body. Sukyanandara. So there's no Om Nama in the siddhi aspect. There's just Sukyanandara. You're just Sukyanandara. Sukyanandara. And you take 20 minutes, 15, 20, 30. You just take more than 5. So 20 is good. 20 is the recommended. 20 minutes a day for 1 month. And then you have my friend Tara who said, oh, let's say 33 days because it's cool. If you say 33 days, they'll take it as a rule. And there are no rules. So do it 33 days if you want. Because it's cool. But I just did like 3 weeks to 1 month per level. Simply, I did the siddhi aspect. Sukyananda. Sukyananda. And every few seconds you repeat it softly. And then you go just in your mind. And eventually you transcend. What happens with the siddhi approach is that you will not stay incarnate. You'll just want to transcend. So what I did is one. Until I could get used to just being incarnate. Okay? Now I do this in siddhi while I drive. In fact, I do anima when I drive. I just, it's cool. But that's because I'm incarnate. You see, this incarnation experience, what it is, why, okay, I have to explain something first. I explained to you yesterday the different paths. There's the samadhi path, you just transcend, okay? There's the manasvin path, which is what the Buddhists do. They're mindful, they're just aware. But they don't have lots of instruction on how to be aware of physical level and flesh and everything, because the Buddhists, and that's the wisdom of the Buddha, which is great, by the way, is about just being there, and whatever has to reveal itself will reveal itself in time, if you're patient. We are in the avatar way. The avatar way is how we can consciously exist in a divine manner in nature. Apparently a human, okay, the way of Krishna, the way of Melchizedek, okay, the avatar way. Avatar is not a internet forum word, okay? Avatar is a Sanskrit word that means a representation of, okay? Avatar means incarnation of God. And then they said to themselves, oh, let's call it an avatar because it's an image that represents you, okay? Whatever, okay? The Hindu people invented that, okay? Before avatar was used, the people in forum used the word picto. What's your picto? What's your icon? Okay, done a little bit of icons. And then someone called it an avatar. It was cool, it sounded great, let's use it. Okay? Avatar is a Sanskrit word that means incarnation of a divine nature. Okay? So our way is the avatarian way, which is not exactly the mindful way, it's more than mindful. And it's harder. It takes practice. You can't peacefully go about. You need to stay focused. You know, it takes a bit of effort until you get used to just being incarnate, always. Okay? So that's why I taught you the experience of how to incarnate in flesh. Just, you dump your energy at the lowest possible level. Wow! And it goes in your flesh, and this is happy. And from the happiness, fire starts raising at the physical level. Well, you won't get on fire, by the way. I'm speaking of energy moves. That is the equivalent of fire radiance. It just transforms your physical flesh. Okay? That will not give you immortality. It will allow your body to endure immortality. Okay? It will allow your body to accept it and to stay young and functional. Okay? Alright? So this is primarily done at the physical body. They're all done in the physical flesh. But there's one that will mostly transform the physical flesh, which is Om Namah Sukyanandaram. Om Namah Premaswastyaham. When you do the practice, you dump into your body. So what we'll do, okay, take it a note. Those who weren't there yesterday evening, but you've done mantras enough, you understand. Prema is love. Swastya is self-contained, autonomous. Ham is, there's an A here, Ah. And Ah is presence and lower abdomen, okay? Ah, Ham, okay? So it's love, but you guys, in your mind, love is something that goes in the heart. Love is something that goes everywhere. This love will be done in your vital body because of the Ham. What is love at the vital body, at the energy body? It's having an orgasm. Okay? Om Namah Premaswastya Ham will nourish your energy body's need to have an orgasm, so you will be freed from the need to have an orgasm. Meaning that your need of sexuality will start to evolve in a free ability that you do or not, but there's no pressure inside you urging you to do that. Okay? So a lot of monastic people, they're taught you must not have sexuality. They don't teach you how not to have sexuality. They just leave you with the pain of not having it, which is troublesome, which is filled with judgment and useless. Okay? Have sex until you know how not to have it and still be happy. Okay? That's the avatar way. Okay? Like the Hindu, they say don't have sexuality. But Krishna, I mean, Krishna was a sex beast. And people have said he's a sex addict. No. He allowed people to discover states of love they'd never imagined possible. But he was not addicted to sex, didn't care. But he had it a lot. Om Namah Prema Swastyaham, you'll dump it in your body, of course. But you'll focus mostly on the energy body and the sacral chakra. Okay? So focus there. And go in a state of love, and emotionally you'll go in a state of love. Of course, emotionally you'll go in a state of love. It will go affect your energy body because of the focus. Okay? Om Namah Prema Swastyaham. Everything is love. Your experience is self-contained love from the soul. Love is flourishing from all aspects of you with no reason other than your concentration on it. Om Namah Prema Swastyaham. And just pay a bit of attention on your sacral chakra right here. Just a bit. And you'll see it affects your coccyx. They'll start to just flow into your energy sexual system here and start immediately to untie the sexual troubles, the knots, the dependencies, the abandonment of being rejected in the past. Your stuff will start to want to speak. But while you do it, you have love. Om Namah Prema Swastyaham. Oh, by the way, when you're really experiencing this technique, orgasms are like 10 times more powerful. Because there's nothing blocking the energy from flowing when you get it. Whether you get it alone or with some company. I have to put a bit of humor in there because you're becoming serious about sex and love. It's just a side effect of nature. It's not important, sexuality. You overestimate the importance of sexuality in your life. The proof is, if you stop breathing without the proper technique, you die. If you stop eating or drinking without the proper technique, you die. If you stop having sex without the proper technique, you still live. It doesn't really affect you, okay? So sex is not that dramatic compared to breathing, let's say, all right? You have to put things in perspective and not be so dramatic, okay? But then again, you're free, so you'll have sexuality, and it's okay. The more you have sexuality, the more you'll deplete your life force because it's at the life force level. But it doesn't matter because you can replenish yourself. Om Namah Prema Swastyaham. But if you can't replenish yourself at the speed at which you spend it, you're not going to be immortal long, okay? Immortals are those who have sexuality once a month, max. Maybe twice, but not much, okay? Because they really keep their energy and it's only when they have a really impressive overflow of life force they will go have sexuality for fun. And they will only empty a part of their energy, which was the outflow, okay? If they have a second orgasm within a few days, they're emptying their life force. They're not immortal again. Nature taps in. So that's why to get to the experience of immortality, you need to free yourself from the need to have sex. So you can go by a month with pleasure, with fun, which would be just cool. To be 2 weeks or 1 month with no sexuality and just push this energy into your cells. So, I mean, your body cannot die because you've got so much energy in there. Everything is flowing great. Huh? And because you're moving your, I'm not going to pull it back, but because you're moving your energy of the pool, your pool of consciousness, everything is just flowing. Okay? So nature starts to lose its power over you. Okay? So those who don't have sexuality in the Avatarian process is not because they deny it. It's not because of a vow of chastity. It's because of freedom. They got to a point that it transmuted their physical need of sexuality. But then, there's another level. We want attention. We want attention. We want people to touch us. We want affection. Okay? So we'll have sexuality because we want something else in sexuality, and it's only through sexuality that we have it. Attention and affection. So, next step is how to free yourself from the need to have attention or affection. Ooh! What's going on in your belly, guys? Okay? When I spoke of not having sex, it wasn't that bad. When I spoke of not having attention from anyone and no affection ever again, whew, I did not say you will never have it again. I said how to live without the need. So that when you have it, it's cool. So you see your dependencies. You can just free yourself. Okay, and then I give this wisdom. And this, I'm going into the affection and what touches you, okay? What touches you. Next step is what touches you inside. Okay? In a few minutes. Break down.